Next up, we head for Lake of the Woods on a perfect fall day for some late season walleye fishing. This is one of my favorite times of the year because it's rod in hand and jigs tipped with shiner minnows. There we go. Ooh, that one looks better. I'm gonna grab the net. Here's what happens when you go fish with the guy who's the expert on the area.
Hey.
He gets ahead of you a little bit. He's going to force me to think about what I got to change. Nice fish, buddy.
You know what? That is a nice walleye, isn't it?
That is.
When you talk about just a good eating walleye, John, look at that fish.
That's a beautiful walleye.
Isn't that nice?
Any day of the week. I mean, you look at that fish, and this is one of the greatest things about Lake of the Woods that I'll say over and over. That's just commonplace. Day in and day out, one of the things that's really cool, and it's funny because Joe and I talked about this ice fishing last year too, is there's a lot of fisheries where it's hard to find your eaters.
Yep.
It's hard to find big fish, one or the other. This is one of those fisheries where you can find both, and you can throw that walleye in, and you can throw them in consistently all day long with that crockett a giant along the way. Ooh, right one. Look at that. I'm assuming you want the net, huh?
Yeah, I'll take the net.
Yeah? I like the way that rod bent. One of the things I would tell you, and this is something you learn throughout the day while you're jigging on Lake of the Woods, is, a lot of places you go, when you feel that bite, first thing you do is just set the hook. And one thing like what Joe was doing right there, if you watch it, he's sitting there with a patience, okay?
It's hard.
It really is. But one of the things about Lake of the Woods that I've always found different is a lot of times it's not about constant jigging here. It's about sitting still, you feel that bite and just sitting on them and almost letting a tug of war happen. And that's what you need to do. I've missed like 4 in a row. And every one of them, it's because I set the hook too quick.
Yeah, and that's why I adapted, just because I was missing them too. And finally I said, I'm gonna let them hang on there just for a second, and pull my rod tip down a couple of times and swim with it.
Yeah.
And then I got them.
Yeah.
And look at nice auger.
Oh, perfect.
That one all day long.
All day. There he is.
Going?
I think we're gonna need a net on this one. Feels a little bit better. It's funny how these schools of fish will just kind of come and go. Oh yeah, good walleye.
Good one, John.
They'll just kind of come and go throughout the day. And it's funny because school of thought on a lot of bodies of water is that if you're not catching, you got to move. One of the things I'll tell you that's so different about Lake of the Woods is when you're not catching, a lot of times I kind of feel like you just got to stay because these schools will just keep moving. I mean, it might mean you move 100 yards, but I'll tell you what, that fish right there, you could just feel a few of these fish that have come in and hit that I missed, you could feel they were better fish. And this one here, he just smoked it. I knew it right away.
Nice fish.
One of the things that I think is so cool, we're fishing fall right now, but man, Lake of the Woods just has a heck of a bite throughout the whole year, and there's so many different progressions that you can fish however you want to.
You can. Oh man, well I'll tell you, early in the year, we normally jig them, John, as you know, in May and June and that sort of thing. Then it's just over to pulling spinners, drifting with crawler harness. I missed one.
Distracted.
No, I felt one. But then you slide into the summertime, and then it's pulling spinners with crawlers, or it's pulling cranks. Then you get into the fall again, and it goes back to the jig bite when that water cools down. But I'll tell you something, there's a definite progression. They like that jig when it's colder water, and during the warmer water, John, they like that spinner and like the crankbait.
Yeah, and the other thing that's really neat is you can come throughout the year and pretty much catch fish however you really want to. What Joe just explained is the most pronounced bites, but I'll tell you what, day in and day out, you can come to Lake of the Woods, catch fish pretty much any way you want to.
I know guys up the Northwest Angle, John, they don't take the jig off all year.
Yeah, if you like jigging, man, this is the place to go. I've always said that. This is the best place you can go. And you take what we're doing today, this fall fishing, this is hand-to-hand combat. You feel fun. Every single bite.
This is fun.
Yep. Good stuff. All right, let's find a nut. Jon Thelen's Destination Fish is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Well, I'm rebaiting here. Let me take a minute and show you this jig we're using. I'll tell you what. This is brand new. And this thing's a real deal. This is the new B-Max jig from Lindy. And here's what's so cool about the B-Max jig. It's actually a lead-free material. It fishes with all the attributes of tungsten. It fishes heavy. It's the same size as those lead jigs. It didn't have to become a bigger jig. It's that same size. It's got a super stout hook. And here's the deal. You can actually buy it at a fraction of the cost that you're spending on those tungsten jigs. And for those of you guys using forward-facing sonar, it shows up great on forward-facing sonar because it's harder than lead. So all said and done, just a great new jig. This is the B-Max jig. Now this is the Lindy jig version. You can also get it in the Lindy Max Gap jig. We're bringing that back. And you can also get it in the Lindy Live Bait jig. So all of those great shapes and sizes, they're all there. What's really great about this Lindy jig is the size structure too. It goes all the way up to a ½ ounce. So if you're river fishing and you need that bigger jig, you're gonna be able to find it at all your major retailers. I'll tell you what, this right here, this is a good jig.
Oh, there's one. I'll tell you what I did that time, John. I actually, you want to grab the net now?
Yeah,
But,
looks like a decent one.
yeah,
Huh?
it is a decent one. Oh, nice little walleye, huh?
There you go. There you go.
Perfect. But you know, I tell you what I did. Nice walleye. On that one,
That's
you know, when
great.
I was jigging you guys, I was touching bottom and just touch bottom and I shake it like heck and I hold it in the strike zone. I was touching bottom, I lift it up a little higher. And I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm thinking about back when I'm ice fishing, all the different techniques I use jigging while ice fishing that could get those fish to go. So I've been starting to do that and I'm getting more bites than I was before. So something different about that jigging action, but it's turning them on. It's a nice walleye. We'll eat that one tonight.
Good fish. Good job. You know, it truly is amazing how a simple change in a jig stroke can make a big difference. And you know, one of the things that I've always said when I watch people fish, and I guess I've been victim of this before too, you know, is just falling into a rut can cost you a lot of fish.
Sure can.
Constantly trying different things can buy you a lot of extra fish. The biggest key though is when you do get one to bite, remember what you were doing.
Yeah.
Because you got to go back and replicate it, because on any given day they're going to like something different, but you got to make those changes to find exactly what it is they like. There he is.
Got him?
Feels like a decent fish, Joe. Oh yeah, this will be a keeper. Let's see if we got a sauger or a walleye. What do we got? Ooh, look at that. Nice walleye. What a day.
It's a.
Man, you would never know it's October, number one. It's absolutely beautiful out here. I mean, this weather is just phenomenal. Fish are biting as fast as you want them to bite. And I don't know that I have fished in this much comfort all season.
Yeah.
This is a real deal, man. I'll tell you what, Lake of the Woods is one heck of a place. And I've been coming here a lot of years, and Joe's the expert on the area. And I'll tell you what, I want to have him take a minute before we go today and just tell you a little bit more about Lake of the Woods, because my vacations here,
Yeah.
I look forward to them. And I've been coming here for years and years and years, and I know that you're going to want to do it too. Take it away.
You know, I tell you, there's Lake of the Woods is it's a famous fishery, and for good reason. You know, there's 3 areas of Lake of the Woods. The first area is the Rainy River, and that feeds Lake of the Woods. That's a great fishery in its own right. Lake sturgeon, walleye, smallmouth bass, really good. Second, Big Traverse Bay, and that's where we're fishing today. That's the big open water of Lake of the Woods. That bay is big. It's about 30 miles north-south by about 20 miles or so east-west. Big body of water. Deepest spot in Big Traverse is only 38 feet deep, so the whole thing is prolific and full of life, and that's one of the reasons there's so many walleyes. The third area of Lake of the Woods is the northwest angle. That's the northernmost point of the contiguous U.S., and that's where the 14,552 islands of Lake of the Woods begin. You want to talk about island structure and a lot of walleyes, muskies, smallmouth bass, but that's where you want to go for that part of it. John, Lake of the Woods is a diverse fishery.
Yeah, and you know, the one thing I'll add to it too is just, you look at the resort structure here, and we talked about it earlier, but it doesn't matter if you own a boat or not. You can come here and get on a charter boat. If you own a boat, you can bring your boat, you can split your trip up, you can do so many different meal plans. And in these resorts, it's such a diverse scenario. And what I mean by that is if it's a group of guys, if it's the work group, if it's the family, doesn't matter. Lake of the Woods can cater to you, and I'll tell you what, that's why I've been coming here for so many years. Been a great day on the water, and I'll tell you what, it's one of my favorite places to fish. Make sure to stop back next week. We're gonna have another great episode of Jon Thelen's Destination Fish. Jon Thelen's Destination Fish has been brought to you by these great sponsors.